You know, and I remember I had a reading commitment during that period, and I was just miserable, ooh, in pain. You know what I mean? And so you walk in the door, I'd be crying. If you want what we have. But I say, you need to see me not just when I'm taking a cake, but you need to see me when I'm hanging on with everything I got in me. You need to see me when I put my foot so far in my mouth that all I can do is sit in my seat and cry. You need to see me go through that because you need to see me walk through it so that when your turn comes, you'll know you don't have to drink. Well, you know. So, you know, by the time I came to Clancy, I was just out of ideas. It's a beautiful place. If you're here right now, if you're here and you're new, I hope you're hurt like hell. Because this program works better when you are. Because then there's some willingness and you become a little bit more teachable. A little bit more willing to be uncomfortable. I find that too many of our new friends are not willing to be uncomfortable. But you're already uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I was uncomfortable when I came to you. I had just became comfortable with being uncomfortable. And then when I stopped drinking, I became really uncomfortable, and AA started asking me to do things that stretched me out. It was stretching me out because I had to be reconfigured. I had to be reformed. Stay with us. Stay with us through that process. In the center of Alcoholics Anonymous, the view from the center looks much different than when you're on the fringes. When you're on the fringes, you have people saying, why do you have to go to all those meetings? Why do you have to check with your sponsor? Why do you have to pick this person up? They're 20 minutes out your way. You know what I mean? When you're in the center, you're already in the car going to pick them up, and you've already checked in with your sponsor, you're talking to your sober sisters. It's very different. We are a family here. We are creating miracles here in Alcoholics Anonymous. We are people that are drunk. Society has said that's it. You will never walk a free man or a free woman. You will never live in dignity. You will never have the integrity. Yet we put on dresses. We have clean underwear. Bonus. You know what I mean? What type of drunk you were, you know. So anyway, I digress. So I came to Clancy. I was in a lot of pain, and you know, I love my sponsor. He's just cute. He's spicy, and I love him. And I was so out of control when I came to him. You know, he's loving in his way. And so we would talk, and I would want to share with him my ideas, which subsequently were keeping me thirsty. You know what I mean? And so I would be on the phone, and he would ask me, well, what happened? But I don't want to just tell him what happened. I want to give him the build-up so he understands why I did what I did. You know what I mean? He would say, no, tell me what happened. And so I would tell him, and he would say, you're crazy, no mature, click, and hang up. But I wasn't done talking. You know what I mean? I thought it was a bit rude. And so I was holding onto the phone, but I would be flipping the phone, I'd be pissed off, tears would be screaming. I'd be, in my face. You know what I mean? I'd call my friend, hollering on the phone, and he was like, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to follow the direction. You know, you're not that whacked out, but I'm so grateful that he cared more about my life than my feelings. He cared enough about me to talk to me straight. In his love, under his guidance, his direction, under his uncompromising devotion to this program, I was able to feel secure enough to sit here and start hearing the message again, because I never stopped going to meetings, I never stopped doing the deal, but I was so broken, and I felt so far, I was just so closed off. And I started coming back into the light, and what I had to do during that period is I had to change my conduct. You know, the one thing I have learned, because I had to redefine what is love, what does it look like? What does it consist of? What is a relationship? What does it look like? What does commitment mean? What does loyalty mean? Because I was basing that from old ideas. I had to get some new information. And while I went through that, the most important thing I did is I closed my legs. You have to hear that. Being by themselves. Terrified. Ladies, if we come in here sick, we are making choices based on that information. I had to have an opportunity to sit down, to get with Candace, and to get with my God. I had to go within. My dear friend Lynette always says, if you don't go within, you will go without. I stayed in that sick relationship because I felt that was the best I deserved. I thought that was love. I felt because I had done all those things before I came to you, this is all I could hope for. That's not true. In step 3, it says we were reborn. We are made anew. It doesn't matter what I've done. It's all been wiped clean. It's about my conduct here and now. I had no idea that I am already enough. So if you are here right now, today, understand this. Here, now, you are enough. Period. You are enough. Make them work for it. They think men don't want, but they do want to work for it. They want you to make them wait. They're like, no, we don't. Yes, you do. They come up in the car, or you know what I mean? It's just like, let's bring it back. I wanted to be treated like a lady, but I insisted on acting like a broad. And I wondered why it wasn't working out. You know, when I sat still, I was so broken I couldn't daydream anymore. I couldn't do anything, and I started to buy myself flowers. I had to figure out what I like, what makes me happy. We talk about being happy, joyous, and free. What is happiness? What does it look like? What is joy? What brings me joy? I'll tell you, I love cartoons. Love them. You know what I mean? I own Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Bee Movie, Finding Nemo. Love them. You know what I mean? When I went to see Alvin and the Chipmunks, it was in the afternoon, and you know, there were like kids there and their parents and me. You know what I mean? And so I don't care if I'm sitting there and I kind of had a bond with this little kid, the little boy, him and his grandmother, and so like they weren't really laughing like he and I were laughing. And I would look over and we would laugh. You know? And it's great. It brings me joy. I like that. I have coloring books. I started coloring during that period because I couldn't dream. I couldn't create anymore. I was so broken. And so I got coloring books. I had the 64 box of crayons. I want you to know I now have the 96. Happy, joyous, and free. In order for me to get free, I need to know what is keeping me in bondage. I have to be prepared to uncover, discover, and discard that which is blocking me from the sunlight of the Spirit. I'm doing all this work not to sit here and be miserable and be bitter and not be happy for you when you have a success in your life. I'm doing this work because I want to be free. I want to be light in spirit. You know, and my sponsor, Clancy, has helped me do that. I've been with him for almost 5 years now. I adore him. I can't say it enough. If you have a sponsor, you can't tell everything to get another sponsor. You know, the whole they like me, who cares? You know what I mean? You're not going to them to be your pal, you're going to them to get some direction, because if you give yourself direction, you too will get thirsty. That's the deal. My home group is a specific group, very active group. I'm a very active member in Alcoholics Anonymous. I need to be around people that are excited to be sober. You're asking me to do an awful lot, and if everyone's just like, you know, glum and morose every day, I don't know, drinking might be better. You know, and so it's good for me to come in where people are excited about sobriety, where this is a priority, where you don't squeeze it in the middle of wherever you're going. It's priority. It sets the tone for what you do. You know, I want to share this with you. It's in the 12 and 12, and I started sharing it a few years ago because I just love it. I remember I went to a recovery home, and a recovery home has nothing except for their guzzling and the unfortunate results thereof. They can have no other complications. So beggars, tramps, asylum inmates, prisoners, queers, plain crackpots, and fallen women were definitely out. It says, yes sir, we cater only to pure and respectable alcoholics. Now, I don't know about you, but chances are if I'm pure and respectable, I ain't alcoholic. But then they so boldly list, you know what, beggar, queer, plain crack. I'm 4 out of 5 right there.